people. Hi, people. I'm just being quiet because there's nobody in the chat, so we're just gonna walk. This is Live Pride, Let's Walk and Talk. But we're walking right now. And the reason it's Let's Walk and Talk is because if you can walk and you can talk, you're doing great. If you just want to walk, you're still doing good. But we walk and talk over here. Okay? As long as somebody is talking. But sometimes you just want to walk, right? Sometimes people just want to look, they just want to watch. And you don't have to talk. And that's good. That's okay. As long as you get this walk in, this run in, this jog in, whatever it is that you do, your cycling, your treadmill, your elliptical, your stepper, your swimming, your tennis, you're walking in place, you're walking around the yard, you're walking a couple of blocks, as long as you get it in. Again, if you can talk, that's great. If you can just walk and that's it, that's good too. Once you build up that stamina, that endurance, maybe you'll start walking and talking, and maybe not. Because, you know, sometimes people just want to walk. They don't want to talk. They just want to just walk and enjoy nature, right? Listen to the birds. You guys hear the birds? I'm looking at the squirrels. They're running all across the street. They're all in the yards. Birds are chirping. Birds are singing. They're doing their thing. Birds are doing what birds do. And you don't have to be in one of the most beautiful places in the world to enjoy nature. You can just go outside. Go outside. Hopefully you're not in a place that's heavily polluted. Heavily polluted. But, which that can be anywhere. But hey, find a place that doesn't have a lot of fumes, odors, a lot of stuff that's just floating around, if you can, and enjoy nature. Enjoy outside. Enjoy being outside. Take you some deep breaths in and out. One more, in and out. And I hope that you have gotten some type of cardiovascular exercise in for the day, whether it was this morning, this afternoon, or this evening. 30 minutes. If you can't do 30 minutes yet, that's okay. Try 15 to 20. 15 to 20, before you know it, you may be going an hour. You may be going a full hour, which would be great. 30 minutes, 7 days a week, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with cardiovascular activity 7 days a week. But if you just don't have the time, due to time constraints and a busy schedule, strive for 5. And that way, if you don't do 5, you've done the bare minimum of about 3. Okay, if you strive for 5 and you miss a day or 2, you've done the bare minimum of 3, right? And the professional disclaimer that I've always used over here, I always taught you guys about the synovial fluid, how it lubricates those joints the more you move. Remember that the more you move, the more synovial fluid your body creates, and it helps those joints. Right? So when you're in a seated position, just move the ankles. Circular motions. Imagine drawing a circle with your big toe. Just sit down, you're at work, imagine drawing a circle with your big toe. Do the same for the other foot, okay? When you're just sitting, move those knees as you sit. If you have a job where you sit a long time, if you work 8 hours a day, 8 or more, and you do a lot of sitting, make sure you find every opportunity to sit down when you can. And if you don't have many opportunities to sit down, if you're sitting a lot, find every opportunity to stand up, walk around a little bit, all right? And if you're standing a lot, find every opportunity that you can to sit down, okay? And try to alternate. I know the constraints of the job, the requirements of the job may be that you stand a lot, but let me tell you, take your breaks, Okay, take your 15-minute breaks, take your 30-minute breaks, your hour breaks, however long it is, take your breaks. Don't give the company your break. Some of these companies will take your breaks. Don't let them take your breaks away from you, especially if you have a job where you stand up a lot. And if you have one where you sit down a lot, you need to get up as well. Because if you're sitting down, you're bent at your hip, you're bent at your knees, and it's harder for blood to circulate the way it should. Hey, baby puppy. I call him a so, you know, if you're sitting, take every opportunity to stand when you can. If you're standing a lot, take every opportunity to sit when you can. Okay? And move, whether you're sitting or standing. If you're standing, shift that weight. Kind of walk in place. You know, it's better than just standing there. I know sometimes you may have jobs where you have to just stand, especially if you're working like certain types of assembly lines, okay? But if you can, when you can, move, okay? Move. Because guess what's happening? That hard floor, which most times you'll be on a hard floor, and they might add mats for comfort, but hey, they only help for so long. You may have great shoes. They help for so long. So do what you can. If you can while you're standing, just move. Move your feet. Okay, you're probably already moving your arms a good bit, but move your feet. Okay, to help increase that blood flow. To help to increase the blood flow. If you sit a lot, again, if you sit a lot, just take that foot, draw circles with your ankles. If you sit a lot, when you bend at the knee, blood flow, it takes a while to go around and come around. Just move. Stand up. Hey, Jill. Welcome to the chat, Jill. So if you stand a lot at work, take every opportunity that you can to sit down. Okay? It might not be many, depending on your job. If you sit a lot, take every opportunity to stand. Because sitting, again, when you sit for prolonged periods of time, that's not good, right? You have to bend at the hip. And where else do you bend? At the knee. Well, the blood has to circulate around that knee joint, around that hip joint. And it's a little bit harder when you're sitting. When you're young and vibrant and healthy and you can jump up at the drop of a dime, it's easier. But as your body starts to age and your veins get a little bit older, your joints get older, it's harder for that blood to come around those knee joints and around that hip joint when you're sitting for prolonged periods of time. Okay? Welcome into the chat, JCZ, Crafts, Blogs, and more, Miss Jill. So, again, if you have a job where you sit for prolonged periods of time, stand at every opportunity that you can. Stand and just move in place for a few seconds. Shake those legs at intervals every 15 to 30 minutes. However, at whatever interval you can do it, your job allows. And sometimes your job might not allow, and you just have to make time. Sometimes you just have to make time, you know, because again, sitting like that. Look at a chair. Picture a chair, a wooden chair, and picture pouring water through a tube, right? When you pour that water, y'all, I was being nosy. Once it comes to the seat of the chair, it has to turn, and it goes to the edge of the chair, which will be your knees, and it has to turn. Now picture straightening that chair out. Just straighten it out, and then drop water. It flows so much better. It flows so much better. Think of your blood vessels that way. Think of your blood vessels that way. So yes, you don't need to stand for prolonged periods of time putting that, because gravity puts pressure on your ankles, your feet, your body, your back, your legs. And it can cause, probably at the end of the day, you guys notice that you might see some swelling, possibly some people. Some people might not be experiencing things like that, but a lot of people do. So that can come from sitting too much, and it can come from standing too much. So try your best to alternate. Jill says, I'm here multitasking, working on content for this channel, Laugh Out Loud. I hope you had a great day. I did, Jill, I did. Had a blessed, wonderful, great day. I hope you did as well. I hope your day at work went well. And yes, multitasking. Look, we all got to do it. We all got to do it. It's like you take a break, you sit down for a minute, try to get a breather, just take a load off. And next thing you know, you're doing 2, 3, 4, 5 different things at one time. It's just how it is. You have to multitask. And you think when your kids get a little older that you don't have to multitask as much. Now, believe you me, it's not as much running around because they don't have cheerleader practice, band practice, football practice, and all that stuff. But when those kids get older and you don't have to do all that ripping and running, you still have a lot of things that you have to do for yourself. You still have, and back, when they're young, you're so used to running, and everything getting done, whether it's for them, you, or your spouse, your parents maybe, even sometimes your siblings and family members. So when the kids kind of start being on their own, it's like you start to think, oh, I have a little bit more time. For some people that's true, but for some people not, because they add on extra things for themselves, or they add on extra things for other people that they need to do for other people. It did, thanks. That's good. They add on extra things that they have to do for other people. So yes, guys, remember, there are a plethora of things that you can do for your cardiovascular fitness. Remember, okay, you hear that dog? Y'all hear that dog? That is a pit. He's a big one too. He is a big one too. A really big one. He sounds like it. Hello, how are you? Yes, y'all, he is a big one. So I'm trying to keep this to 30 minutes, maybe an hour. It just depends on what I'm doing at the 30-minute mark. Like yesterday, we tried to keep it to 30 minutes, but Camille came in, a few other people came in, and we had a good conversation. I can probably tell you about half the things we talked about, but hey, that's what the channel is about. We're not going to get on here and do certain things because I bounce around too much, y'all. As far as like getting ready to cook, I'm the most unorganized person when it comes to cooking. But guess what? I know how to cook. I'm the most unorganized person when it comes to cooking. But you'll love the food. I just make sure I have everything that I need, right? I'm not good at prepping. My mother, great at prepping. My grandmother, it didn't matter to her. She could prep or not. My mother didn't have to prep either, but she just liked more organization. She liked to have an organization. Me, I'm like, whatever I want, we'll decide what the seasons will be when I get done cleaning the meat. Are we gonna do some Italian seasoning? Are we gonna do some Southern seasoning? What are we gonna do? I just make my mind up along the way. But yeah, my mom and dad just organize. But they could cook on a whim. She just preferred being that way. And y'all know your parents can make a meal out of nothing. Some whole cakes, some hot water bread. Some people say hot water bread. We say whole cakes. And some of us say hot water bread. Hey, if you know how to make those, you don't have to turn that oven on. Like in the summertime, when you're trying to cook stuff like greens and stuff like that, look, if you know how to make some good whole bread, you do that on top of the stove. It It's hot enough when you're cooking on top of the stove in the summertime. But leave that oven off as much as possible. Leave that oven off as much as possible. Make you some whole bread, some hot water bread to go with those greens. To go with whatever it is that you need cornbread for. Flip side, in the wintertime, it's nice to turn the oven on in the wintertime. It's nice to turn that oven on in the wintertime. Just that extra heat. Get that extra heat circulating through the house. So, yep, that's what we do. We just talk over here. We just shoot the breeze. We shoot the shoot. Whatever we come up with, that's what we talk about. It's so much stuff going on in the news to talk about. But guess what? We've already talked about it. Now we're just waiting. It's so much to talk about. After a while, you get so tired of hearing about the latest stuff in the news. You get tired of hearing about Mr. Combs. You kind of want the presidential election to come on and happen so we can see who it's going to be. And we can watch the shenanigans. Because I can guarantee you, if it's a certain outcome, there will be shenanigans. Jill says, right, I don't mind turning the oven on in the winter. I know that's right, Jill. Turn that joker on in the wintertime. Look, that's a look. Turn that oven on in the wintertime. As cold as it gets. Sometimes I'm like, look, y'all want to bake some cookies? Y'all want to bake? Y'all want to bake this? Y'all want to bake that? Because a lot of times in the winter, you can turn your oven on and you don't even need your heat on. If you're cooking in the winter, you can cook, and by the time that oven heats up and I'm talking about, you can have a pretty nice sized house. Those rooms close to and around your kitchen, you turn that oven on, and look, you get everybody, look, y'all get in there den. Look, all of y'all got your own devices anyway. Half of you got on earbuds. Get in that den, go in their living room, get in there. They're all around the kitchen. And look, come from upstairs, come out of the basement. Y'all get right around this heat and save on this heating bill, okay? We're gonna save on this heating bill because we're gonna let this oven heat and keep us warm while we're cooking. We're gonna let it keep. Y'all know I love this cactus. I love this cactus. And I just love the big old purple bulbs, like where you can see the new cactus leaves forming. Those purple bulbs are gonna end up looking like that. I love the cactus. I love it, love it, love it. Because I've seen plenty of would I say cacti? I've seen plenty of cacti. Or is it cactuses or cacti? For some reason, I want to say it's cacti. I don't know. I've seen plenty though. But I've never just paid attention to them because that one is so close to the street. I pay attention to it all the time. And I notice every little change that happens with it. I notice every little, hey, Shawanda. How you doing, Shawanda? Happy Tuesday to you. Is it Taco Tuesday? Are y'all having taco? Who's having taco? So it's Tuesday, like Taco Tuesday, Turkey Burger Tuesday. What else can you have on Tuesday that starts with a T? A lot of times people like to, let their food align with the day of the week. Man, what tomorrow would be? Wing Wednesday? Man, I eat whatever I feel like eating. I mean, to try to keep it that way is a good thing to do. But after a week, you don't want to, if you do that for 2 weeks, the third week, you're not thinking about tying your food up to the day of the week. You want something different. You want something different. Shawanda says, hey, everybody. Jill says, hey, Shawanda. You want something different. So y'all remember to still continue to drink plenty of water. That's just not a summertime thing, okay? That's a year-round thing, drinking plenty of water, drinking enough water. As long as you aren't on any type of fluid restrictions, per your doctor. Drink you plenty of water. Stay hydrated. We talked about the signs of dehydration over here And one of the first signs of dehydration is what? Dry, chapped lips. Dry, chapped lips. Thirst. Thirst. Dry skin. Dry skin. Skin that won't, skin with poor turgor. Turgor means that if you pinch it up, it won't bounce back. It kind of just stays pinched up. So we talked about those signs of dehydration over here. And it's people dependent, person dependent. But one of the clear first signs of dehydration is dry lips, of course, thirst, and just checking your skin, noticing what's going on with your skin. Jill says, no tacos for me. I can't keep up with the days, let alone the Taco Tuesday. Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you for being concerned. I appreciate it. Y'all, that is one of my neighbors. Like, you know how you have neighbors who are really, really close to you. Like if you walk out your house, you can see them. Well, I can't really see him. I can see his street. If I walk out of my house, I can see his street. He's like way down the street. There's like an intersection. And so, y'all, the other night when I was walking, and I know a lot of people on his street, and I know him, but I didn't know that it was him that particular night. And I was walking, y'all, and he said something to me, and my mouth and my attitude went whoop, whoop. And y'all, he had to literally stop. I was like, yo, this man about to stop. So I had to grab my bag, because you know the bag is bagging. I had to grab my bag. He was like, no. Oh. And when I realized who it was, y'all, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. And he was like, no, you were walking on the right side of the street. You guys, you know how like when you're walking with traffic, you're supposed to walk, you're not supposed to walk with your back to the traffic. You're supposed to walk facing the traffic. And so I was walking the right way, and he was waiting. But the reason he was waiting is because there was another car. And that car acted like he didn't know what he wanted to do. I don't know if he was lost. I don't know what was going on. But he was like in the middle of the road. So what I did was I was like, you know what? I don't know what's going on with him. He's looking like he's getting closer to my side, which is, which would be the correct side. But he was in the middle and he was slowing down, and it's like he was searching or looking or trying to listen to something or paying attention to the phone or something. Like he was kind of distracted. So since it was more room on the other side, the side I wasn't supposed to walk on, I headed over to that side. And so my neighbor back there said, hey, no, you're on the right side. I think he probably felt like I thought I was on the wrong side and was trying to get out of the way of the car. I was trying to get out of the way of the car, but only because he seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. He said, I saw that car acting like, he said, that's why I hung back. And he said, you were on the right side of the road. I said, I know, but he was just acting like he didn't know what he was doing. But y'all, he said something to me and I didn't understand what it was. And I said, and you know how sometimes it's like they say, your discernment just tells you it might not be a bad thing, but at the same time, it's night. And my other neighbors that I talked to, they had just went in the house. And I'm like, what did he say? He said, no, I'm telling you, you're on the right side of the road. So, look, you gotta use your discernment and your intuition. Don't let it fail you, because look, you'd rather be that you don't want to be wrong, because sometimes being wrong could be not so good. But when it comes to talking about strangers, or you don't think you know who it is, you're gonna use all precaution. So I ended up realizing that he was my neighbor. He was in a different car, y'all. So he was in a different car, a car that I didn't recognize. And I just saw him in the same car just now. So you know how sometimes people buy used cars, especially like older men who like to do a lot of work and stuff like that. So he had, so I guess he just bought another used car. And he was like, I was just making sure that you knew it was me. And I was like, I did not know it was you. He said, I saw you grab your bag. I said, yep. Yeah, yep. He was like, I saw you grab your bag. I said, yeah, I did. Jill laughing. Better to be on point, yes, than okay. Better to be on point, Jill, than off. Because I was like, okay. Because see, people like that, sometimes people don't know when to stop. Like if you tell a person you're not up for it, right? Sometimes they'll just keep on talking or keep on like, they just won't leave well enough alone. And you have to really like show them that you're not playing. So I was like, I don't know what he's saying, but I'm a woman, that's a man. It's dark. He thinks I'm by myself, which most of the time, y'all, when I'm walking, I'm not by myself. Most of the time when I'm walking, I'm not by myself. My partner is just not wanting to be anywhere near the phone because they know I'm live. So most of the time she's like way ahead, but she can see me and I see her. If she looks back, she can see me. If I get ahead of her, I look back, I can see her. So now sometimes when I'm just out kind of late, I am by myself. But like I said, I know everybody. And everybody's home too. But so I don't do it if nobody's home. But that was just funny. That was just funny because you just, like Jill said, better to be on point than off, okay? Better to be on point than off. So I had to apologize because he was really looking out for me. He was looking out for me, but I guess, Jill, I was being on point. So he was looking out for me and I was trying to be on point. Because a lot of times too, you know when something is threatening and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't. So you just have to try your best to be prepared and stay prepared. And sometimes when something is very threatening or a person is very threatening and you don't want to have any interaction with them, any contact with them. Let me tell y'all something. I have been in situations before, Jill laughing. I have been in situations before where I'll have Bessie right here on my side. And I don't even like that. I don't even like the idea of that because it just starts to look like the Wild Wild West. And I try not to leave home with Bessie or Mary or Sally, either one of them. I try to just leave home with Pepper and Dagger. I have Pepper and I got a little Dagger, okay? But sometimes when you know you're going to be out, certain times of the evening, night, out and about and you're alone, or even if it's a couple of you, it's sad to say, but you have to do what you have to do, to protect yourself, to make sure that you're safe, to make sure that you're safe. So yes, y'all, the week, it's been a good week. I hope you guys are having a great week. Glad you had a good day today, Jill. Anybody who comes across this live replay, I hope and pray that you had a great day today. I hope that you continue to have a great week. If your week has not started off that great, look, pray about it, okay? Do what you can do about it to fix it. And try too hard not to stress about it. And I know that's easier said than done because there are so many different things that people go through. But hopefully everything's going to be okay. Still praying for those victims of Hurricane Helene. And I heard that there was another one traveling a similar path. It's supposed to be, I don't know why they come up with October 5th. But I guess the way they track it, they're saying something about October 5th. So have you guys heard anything about that? If you guys haven't, if you catch the replay, tell me what you know about that. When I get off of here, I'm going to go and check that out. You have a great rest of your week as well, hon. Thank you, Jill. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, you guys let me know. Let me know. You got folks lying, saying that the president hadn't talked to the governor. The governor of Georgia. Oh my gosh. I don't know why people take opportunities like this to try to, people have gone through a lot due to this hurricane. And it's been like that. Not the past 4 years, but the 4 years prior. When people are going through natural disasters, you have certain people who just want to, honestly, I won't say make it a joke, but trivialize it. And that just really ticks me off. It really ticks me off. Yes, Jill, it's a lot going on. It's so much going on. Like, sometimes you just want to take a break. You know how sometimes people talk about taking a break from social media? Sometimes you want to take a break from social media. Sometimes you just want to take a break from the news, some of the things going on in the news. But then when you take a break, sometimes you come back surprised and shocked as heck about the things going on, and you're like, you don't want to miss it. So, or you kind of think, well, I can't take a day or two. Hopefully everything is okay. Not too much happening. You got Iran and you got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on with other countries as well. And it's just sad. It's just sad. I don't understand. I really, truly don't understand why people can't live and let live. Like, live and let live. Like, leave people alone. And the phrase, leave people alone, should be enough. Because if everyone left everyone alone, in a negative, as far as negativity in a negative capacity, it wouldn't be so much junk. Like, y'all know how I say, don't let people bother you? And I say, don't y'all bother anybody? Well, how about just don't bother people? Leave people alone, and that would apply to everybody. And you would still have things to come up, but maybe not so much. You got whole countries thinking that they can just control other whole countries. And it ain't nothing new. It's nothing new. It's been like that since the beginning of time. You got whole groups of people wanting to control other groups of people. For some reason, in their minds, in their world, they have the authority and the power to control other people. And so that's what they do. A lot of them none of them have the authority, but they have the power. So they utilize the power to control other people. And that's crazy. It's crazy. So, y'all know I've been trying to keep these lives to 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Because I've been seeing lives, y'all, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. And it's like, it ain't no way. It ain't no way. And you don't have to stay on the live that long. You don't have to stay in that live. And sometimes people are lonely, so they conduct those lives for that long. Now, like I always tell y'all, I have one live that was 6 hours long. One. And we had so much fun. So I can understand if you're having fun, if you're doing something. But when these lives get to be over 2 hours, that's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. And then to stay on live, I'm talking about 5, 6 hours every now and again, that's fun. But every other day, sometimes every day, today might be 8, tomorrow might be 5, yesterday may have been 3, and then 2 days later, Friday it might be 10. I'm like, to me, and most people don't expect you to stay in those lives like that, but I still feel like that's like selfish. I feel like that's kind of selfish. There's a degree of selfishness in that, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. I feel like if people are having issues or some type of, having situations, maybe they need to, talk to someone in their area But to be on a live that long, unless you're asleep, unless you're asleep, you know, people do that. Those lives are kind of funny. They're nice. You go to go in there and see somebody asleep. Now, I can understand that. Sometimes people are afraid. They may live alone, or they may be homeless, or, you know, and they may not even live alone. They just, for some reason, they feel comfort in having an audience while they sleep. So I understand that. I totally understand that. But there are some people who will talk on a live for 6, 7, 8 hours. And I'm like, what in the entire H to the E to the LL? What is it? So it's like I started finding myself trying to keep the lives to under 2 hours. I say 30 minutes to 2 hours, because that's just, to me, that's a degree of selfishness. Especially like when you share audiences with other people. Yes, they don't have to stay in that live, but geez Louise, I don't even know. That is a shift. That's a work shift. That is a work shift. You could go to work, get off, shower, and eat. And the time that some of these people start their lives, y'all, and the time that some people start their lives, you can go to work, get off, shower, eat, and kick back, and they're still alive. And then what gets me is like, if it's fun, again, all good. If you're really doing something to really help the masses, all good. And if you're bored, some people, again, they're bored, or they're depressed, they don't like being alone. That's good. But there's still something about it. If it's taking you 6, 7, 8 hours, It's got to be something. It's got to be a reason. Like, and that, because those that give you good reason, like those lives that are lasting 6, 7, 8 hours, and they got some stuff going on, and it's popping and it's jumping. Hey, that's entertainment. That's fun. But just to be sitting there talking to you, shoot, I say the same thing every day. I say the same thing every day in 30 minutes to an hour. But my main goal is just honestly to get up and motivate people to move, to sometimes give a little bit, something extra that people may know, people may not know. Like we talked about, movement. You need to keep moving, you know, and not just when we're talking about exercising, just like when we're talking about when you're at work. If you have an 8-hour job where you sit down for most of those 8 hours, make sure you get up and move. Make sure you massage those knees with your hand. Bend those knees, turn those ankles, turn those wrists when you're sitting at the stoplight. Stretch your forearms, you know. When you go to the restroom, you want to get those legs toned, do squats. You should do 12 squats, 3 sets of 12. Guess what? If you don't have time to just take time out of the day to say, okay, for an hour, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to tone. When you go to the restroom, most people go to the restroom at least 3 times a day. When you go to the restroom, do 12 squats each time. You've knocked your leg work out for that day, okay? You've knocked your leg work out for that day. Stretch before, stretch after. You can stretch right before you go in there. Stretch when you get done. Make those muscles burn. You want to work that body, work the body. Make sure you don't hurt your body. And make sure, get that cardiovascular in. The heart is a muscle as well. But you don't want to overdo it. And as I always say, that's why you contact your primary health care provider, be it your doctor, nurse practitioner, physician's assistant, physical therapist, occupational therapist, dietitian, nutritionist, or your specialty doctors. Talk to all of them. You know, let them all be on the same page. They are an atom. They form a circle around you, and you are the nucleus. And remember, always stretch before and after. And for those who need to stretch during, do so as well. Before, during, and after your workout. Okay? Before, during, and after. We're coming up on 45 minutes. So I'll probably take me another 5 minutes to get to where I need to be. So thank you guys for walking with me. I appreciate you. Over here in Lions Pride, let's walk and talk. I truly appreciate you. And if you happen to come across this replay, or if you hear me now and you just didn't drop in the chat, please check out Jill's Comfort Zone, my moderator. Okay, she's having a poetry competition. All right, Jill, if you're still here, please put the information in the chat about your poetry competition. I think all of her slots are full. She has a full slate, okay? But you can be on a waiting list, if I'm not mistaken. I was trying to listen to your live today at work, Jill. And if I'm not mistaken, I caught most of it, but I caught the part I caught about that, about your poetry competition. It's a love thing, y'all. ISSA, love thing, okay? It's a love thing. That is the poetry competition. This is the second annual. So please go over to Jill's Comfort Zone and check out her community posts. Okay, I think her slots have been filled. I think they've been filled. Yes, all 12 slots are full. I am so excited. I know. I bet you are. Yes, it's a love thing, y'all. So the slots have been filled. She has contact information on her channel in case you want to be put on the wait list. Okay, in case you want to be put on the wait list. We have some contestants. We have some new contestants, so I'm really looking forward to that show. Yes, my weeks will be long and busy this month. Yes. What's the date again, Jill? Is it October 26th? I want to say 28th. Is it 26th or 28th? I might be all the way wrong, but for some reason I want to say 26th, but I'm thinking it's 28th. So you guys, please check that out. You know, and if you can't be a contestant, guess what? You can be a part of the chat. You can be a part of the chat. Okay. I was thinking 26. For some reason, I want to say 28. Okay. This is our second annual poetry competition on Saturday, October 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And she also had, but this was, you had to be a member to watch this. This was Saturday. You had a cooking. Well, that wasn't a competition, was it though, Jill? That was just a cook with you. That wasn't a competition. Look, Saturday, it's football. Look, it's football season. I was out. I was out. And I forgot. I kept looking for it to come in, and I forgot it was on your other tier. I forgot it was on your what's it? It's your I'm the Comfort Crew. It was on your other tier. And I wasn't gonna be able to hear anything anyway, because I was at a game. Look. Sorry about that, y'all. I got a phone call. Had a phone call to come in. It was just a live with the. I didn't think it was a competition. I thought it was just a live cooking event. So I have been working on my other channel, working on some other stuff. I've been missing going live a couple of times, but I think this is like my second or third time that I have gone live straight because we're back on track. But I might miss another one or two because I'm trying to get something in a whole different environment, a whole different area going back on. Kind of two things. Sometimes you find yourself needing to maneuver and move around. Needing to maneuver and move around. So I've been kind of taking a break, but then also taking a break because I'm trying to do some other stuff on this app and others. Because sometimes you get in that place where you want some new stuff. You want some new stuff from new people to surround yourself with, or to view and see you. And you want to see how that works. So one thing I've done is gone back to something old that I was doing and starting something new. But I got to stay focused on my Lions Pride Let's Walk and Talks, okay? Because that's the baby. That's the baby. That's the baby. I don't see how people handle two channels. Yes, it is. Sometimes, I don't know about everybody, but I know it's good to have help. Like, it's good to have good, genuine help, like a family member or a friend to help you. It makes it a lot easier. I'm going to focus on my gardening, hot topics, vlogs, and crafting on this channel. This is going to be a mixture of everything. Right. That's definitely what I am. I do everything. I'll make a short out of anything. You know, I love the animal shorts. I love food shorts. But then I just love making a short because you can literally make a short out of anything. And sometimes the shorts that you think will do great don't. And sometimes the weirdest shorts that you upload do really well. They do really well. Just as my children don't want no parts. I know. Oh my gosh. See, that was the thing with one of my cousins. She was in a particular area of YouTube, and her kids were like, nah, nah. And then they thought about it, and they was like, well, we don't have to, if we don't do, it was like a learning experience for them to know what not to do, where not to go. And because of the age difference, they were just so shocked to see 40 and 50-year-old people acting a certain way. And they're like 19, and one of them is like 21 or 22. And they told her, they were like, nah. And then they was like, okay, we good, we Gucci. That's what the 19-year-old was like, we Gucci. Because it was like, because it ain't like that all over. It ain't like that all over. So it was like, I said, you know, my nephews helped me a long time ago when I really wasn't thinking about it. So I got them handling one thing pretty much. And then I'm doing the other one. And you know, the other one is kind of just me. So with that and with Lions Pride, it is kind of hard. It is. Because you want to keep, you know, your main channel. You want to stay active. You want to stay interactive with your main channel. I'd rather watch the messier channels on this account. And see, a lot of times people don't understand that. They don't understand that you have your account, that you want certain things. You want to be, because once you start watching something, you're going to get in that algorithm. So you can get out by going and venturing out in other places. But when some people don't understand that about your own channel. Like, you're like, no, I don't, I'm tired of that stuff. I'm like, I'm tired of that. And so you want to go and do other things. And then people are thinking, well, I don't see you anymore. I see you. I see you from time to time, and you don't see me, and I don't see you a lot. You know, me, myself, I don't see a lot of stuff that I used to see, or a lot of channels that I used to see, because I'm trying to do something different. And if you continue to go to those places, YouTube is going to continue to feed you those places. They're going to continue to feed you those places. Hey, Noel. Hello, everyone. Noel's in the house. How you doing, Noel? How are you doing today, Noel? Glad that you came back. I appreciate you. So, you know, the more you go to certain places, the more it's going to feed you certain places. And you can't get upset about it because you're choosing to click on certain places. So that's why it's like, yeah, I try not to go. People, let me tell you, people have a problem with you not wanting to be shared. People have a problem with you not wanting your own channel to be shared. When they have their channel, they can do whatever it is that they want to do. And so it's just like, you know how people can be messy. You know, people are just messy. It's just people. It's just one of those, just one of the most basic characteristics of people is to be messy. Not all people, but a whole lot of people. And it's like, you have your own channel, share your channel amongst that stuff. Like, sometimes people are like, well, once you start going here, it's over. You just got to start a whole new, not really. I learned that it is good to start a whole new channel, to be in a whole different environment. But you can also, you know, you're going to still have contact with whatever you started out, but you can move a little bit. You can move the needle. You can move the needle. You really can. You can move the needle. And it's like, because at a certain age, I'm like, you got parents and grandparents. How the hell can y'all teach these kids anything? Like, when y'all right here loving this shit, like sorry YouTube, but it was just, I let that one slip. Y'all like really loving it. I'm talking about enjoying it. And I'm to the point where some of it is funny. It's just like you say, it's just like you're watching a TV show. It's just like watching Netflix. It's a variety. But I have learned, even when I watch TV, certain things I keep, you know what I'm saying? I keep things in boxes. And each box, the comedy box is a lot fuller than the messy box. The messy box it probably has less stuff. And at one point, it probably had the most stuff. But then I started watching comedy. I started watching family. Started watching game shows. And then the messy box started to lose content. It started to lose the things. It lose items, content. And so it's looking like it's got one or two things dangling over there because I just like the content creator. You know, because I just like the content creator. And then the other boxes are kind of evened out. The other boxes have kind of evened out. Noel says, JCZ, hello. Jill was speaking to Noel. So you may not be able to get completely away from where you started, but you can definitely move the needle and venture into new territory, new areas. And to just do something, just to do a whole 180, just get you another channel. And, you know, sometimes the growth will be slow because like Jill said, it's hard. It really is hard having 2 or more channels. So sometimes the growth will be slow. But just think about it. You're trying to do something else with that channel. And if it's positive, that's okay if the growth is slow, because anything that's positive grows slowly anyway on these apps. Anything that's positive grows slowly. Now, if I came on here and just acted a plumb fool, it'll grow quicker. So you just have, you know, anything that's positive is going to grow slowly. Sadly, sad to say. I start kind of moving things away. You don't even have to always get completely away from what you're doing. I would put up posts saying, email me. So some of my subscribers have left this channel and gone to that channel. Thank goodness. They came on. Some of them did it, but a lot of them did. And I'm glad, you know, glad of that. I'm like, email me, I send you the link. Email me, I send you the link. So, and that was like a certain demographic. So I would, whoever it was that emailed me, I checked them out. If they were doing the things that I'm trying to get back to, I send the link. If they're doing something that I'm trying to get away from, I don't send the link. I don't send the link. Now I feel some kind of way. You didn't invite me. I didn't invite you. Jill said, why? Jill says, why did I laugh out loud? Oh, you mean my other channels? Well, my other one, you know the other one is my nephew's, the gaming. So that one, they just kind of got that one. And because they had it to begin with. And so he was like, what, a freshman? No, he was in high school. He was still in high school. Now he's like a sophomore. So they're handling that. The gaming, see, a lot of times people that I'm trying to get away from, they ain't really feeling the gaming. They'll go over there for a few minutes. They ain't feeling it. Unless they're really a gamer, or unless they really, really, really nosy as heck, they're not feeling it. They're not feeling 19, 20, 21-year-olds. They're not feeling that. But the other one is like so different. So like, I haven't sent the link to that one. That's not the one I was talking about when I said send links. I haven't sent the link to that. It's totally different. It's totally different. So yeah, I haven't sent the link. And growth is slow. But the funny thing about it is that it happens. So it happens. You just got to keeping on. It might not grow as much as your main channel or your first channel, but you just got to keep on. And the growth will be slow. But the one thing I do notice about channels that grow fast, especially here lately, they're fake or they're really, really gutter and messy. Because what I have realized too is that a lot of messy channels don't really grow that fast. Some of them do, but usually the ones that do grow fast is kind of like the celebrity type, the Tasha K type. But a lot of just regular smaller content creators that are messy as crap, they tend to, as far as subscriber count, it's kind of like the run of the mill, you know, like the average. Now they may get a lot of views. I've seen a lot of people get a lot of views. They may have only 500 subscribers and they get a bukus of views and they do well. I see they get buku of views and they do well. So, but I love Lion's Pride. That's why I wasn't like into the monetization stuff. Like I work, like I really, really do work. And I see that sometimes people for money or monetization on apps, man, they'll do anything. They'll do anything. They'll do anything. And I'm like, okay, I turn this on, but I can simply just turn it off because I really have another focus. I really have another focus, and I really want to keep this for fun and for my lives. I want to keep this for my lives, my walking and talking, my fitness, encouragement, motivation. For those who receive it, they'll receive it. For those who won't, they won't. It's just like with anything. It's just like us. There are some things we'll receive. There are some things we won't receive. But what I'm definitely trying to receive, most importantly and most of all, is peace of mind. Peace of mind. And I'm a very finicky kind of person. So I'm like, you know what? I can just get rid of all of this by just doing something totally different, totally new, just totally different, totally new. Because I've always been able to maintain my channel the way I would like. A few hiccups here or there, but for the most part I have. And so that's why I won't let it go. Y'all will be amazed. It's funny as heck that people will offer to buy your channel. Like, people will offer to buy your channel. The ones that grow fast or the gossip ones. Yeah, right. No, the ones that grow fast, the gossip ones. Yep. They grow fast, the gossip ones. Jill says, I'm good where I'm at. But did you say you only have, but Jill, you already have different platforms, don't you? You already do, you do other platforms already, right? Why do you call Lions Pride? Because I love animals. I love lions. No. I love animals. I love lions. And I'm a Leo. I only have 2 channels. Oh, you only have 2 channels? But you got you're on other platforms though. Like you do things on other platforms, right? Look, replay people. If you happen to come across this the replay of this live, I hope you have a great week. I hope that you continue to have a great week. I hope that you look at the legs move, and I hope that motivates you to get up and move. I hope that you can catch the part. If you don't catch the whole video, I hope you can catch the part that I said about if you work and you have to stand for 8, 10, 12 hours, make sure you take every opportunity to sit down when you can. When you're standing, move around, move those legs. Help that circulation, okay? Help the synovial fluid in those joints. Help that blood flow, okay? If you sit down for 8, 10, 12 hours, get up when you can. It's not good to sit down for too long. It's not good to stand up for too long. Gravity. Think gravity when it relates to both. When you're standing up for so long, that gravity is pulling that fluid, pulling the lymph, pulling the blood down. And what sometimes happens, swelling in the ankles, swelling in the feet. And it may not be any type of health issue at all. It's just gravity. But that weakens your vessels. It weakens your vessels over time. So just try to move. Keep moving. Even when you're not exercising. Move. Take your time and rest. When you rest, put your feet up. Okay? When you rest, put your feet up. Put your feet up straight. Blood returns back to the heart quicker. Okay? Less stress on those vessels. Less stress on their vessels as the blood returns to the heart. Right? When you're sitting, think gravity as well. You're sitting, you're bent at the hip, you're bent at the knee. Gravity is pulling. So stand up when you can. Move around when you can. Keep that synovial fluid. Keep that lymph, that blood. Keep the fluids moving. Remember I talked about a chair. Okay? Pour water down the back of a chair. It's got to hit that back. Then it's got to turn. That's work on the vessels. Then you got to come to the edge of the chair and it's got to turn. That's you sitting down. But if you stand straight up, the water just flows straight down. Right? So the only problem then with the standing up a long time is the gravity, the gravitational pull on your body, right? So you want to move. Oh my God, we are on the same page and I'm a Sagittarius. No, you're a Sagittarius. Leos get along well. with many Sagittarius. I think Leos click well with Leos, and Leos a lot of times clash. I think a lot of signs are like that. Your own sign within, sometimes you clash. Leos really, really get along, or they really, really clash. They really, really get along, or they really, really clash. And when I say really, really get along, I mean for as much as they're around each other, for as much as they interact with each other, they tend to get along, or they like clash with each other. But Leos and Cancers, and Leos and Sagittarius, I don't know with the Sagittarius, maybe it's because they're both fire signs. I think there's another fire sign. Is it Aries? April. What's April? That's a fire sign. I think it's Aries. It's hit and miss with Aries. Leos and Aries, sometimes they good, sometimes not. Kind of like a Leo thing. Kind of like a Leo thing. Sagittarius, we tend to get along with them. Sagittarius, they kind of have some of the same attitude, as far as attitude and moods. Sometimes we don't like to be bothered. We love hard. We expect loyalty, like true loyalty. Even if we're not close to someone, like we expect it, and we expect that not because we think it's absolutely due, but because Leos are definitely loyal. So that's why when someone rubs you the wrong way and you're Leo, it burns you. We a fire sign, it burns you up, because we know that we've been nothing but loyal most times. Doesn't mean we've been loyal all the time, but we do want, and we don't like lies. Don't lie on me. Don't lie to me, don't lie on me, but definitely don't lie on me. Don't. And just like I say, all signs have some of the same characteristics. All signs have some of the same characteristics. So it just takes, you getting to know people. And I tend to get along well with Cancer. I tend to get along fairly well with Sagittarius. Not all. Maybe Cancer a little bit more. Maybe Sagittarius a little bit more, just depending on what the issue is. Depending on what our moves are. Jill says, oh yes. Noah says, I have not met a Sagittarius I've clashed with. Really? I've gotten along with all of them. Facts. See, that's how Leos are. Typically, we will get along, but when we don't, we don't. When we don't, we don't. And maybe it's because we see some of those characteristics. We can peep them out so quickly that we don't like. And sometimes it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it really doesn't matter what sign you are. Sometimes it just comes a time where you grow apart. You just grow apart. Maybe you've gotten along for a while, then you grow apart. Then you grow apart. Then you grow apart. These crazy teenagers. No, what the heck? Are you still on that? Like I say, look, listen. You cannot be in my chat if you cannot roll with the punches. Do you know how many people get called trolls every day? Because this platform is open to millions and millions of people. Millions and millions of people don't come, but each platform, each channel, I'll say each channel, is open to millions of people. And if you've been on here long enough, you know that trolls troll. And they troll hard. And sometimes they just troll just to be a headache. So, hell, I've been called a troll. If that's as thick as your skin is, you might not need to go in a lot of chats. Jill, you might not need to go. Jill, I called him a troll like maybe days ago, maybe last week. And then when I called him a troll, I was like, you can stay in here. Because I let the trolls make it as long as they aren't rude, nasty, or ugly to me or my mods or anyone in the chat. I say that all the time. Sometimes you get people that just block. They block. They block. No, I let the trolls stay over here as long as they're nice and they're respectful. If you get out of pocket, you get out of hand, you're getting blocked. Trolls, some chats have more trolls than supporters. So if you got to grow some thicker skin than that. It's been trolls. I've called people trolls who have come back over here, and they come back from time to time. They don't come into every live, But they come back regularly enough that I remember who they are. Like, it's a joke out of it. Because if they're truly not a troll, then they don't care. For real. They don't care. If they're truly not a troll, they don't care. Because they understand that, honestly, most people will tell you that sometimes their chat could be up to 90% trolls at times. It could be up to 90% trolls at times. And then you get people who rarely get trolls. You know, you get people who rarely get trolls. You get people who rarely get trolls. So, yeah, don't be, oh no, don't let that bother you. It's too much other stuff. He said facts. It's too much other stuff to let that bother you. It's been an hour and 10 minutes. I'm about to get out of here. I said 30 minutes to an hour, didn't I? And look at that. Y'all know what time it is. Don't let bother people bother you. Don't let stress people stress you out. Don't let the little things stress you out. No. There is a such thing as a friendly troll. We love them. Though you're not a troll, there's a such thing as a friendly troll. We love them. Hey, if they come in here and they're being polite and they're being nice, they're just helping out with the view. They're just helping out with the view, right? They're helping out with the view. So don't let anybody contribute to your misery. You know, you find yourself in a misery lounge, a miserable space, a miserable place. Grab your grip and go. G-Y-G-A-G. Grab your grip and go. Go back to your happy place, okay? Where you might not always be 100% happy, but you don't have to deal with somebody else's misery. Because a lot of times people who are trying to make other people miserable, guess what? They aren't really miserable. We say misery loves company, but some of those people are miserable. They just enjoy seeing other people in mess and misery and just chaos for other people, right? Sometimes that's the thing that brings them joy. So if you find yourself somewhere where you don't need to be, where your ecosystem gets shaken, get out of there. Go back to your place where there's equilibrium, okay? Where there is equilibrium. See you on the next one. Okay, thank you, JCZ. I don't know. I still be saying JCZ. I've been saying Jill. I don't know which one you want me to call you on when you're on your other channel. But I appreciate you for coming in so much. I've just been saying Jill, my mod, and they've been saying JCZ. And they probably were like, who's she talking about? No says, so now I can consider myself the 10%. I appreciate that, no. You can. I'm in California, so it's only 5:18 out here. Yes, that's great. Y'all know what it is. Peace, positivity, and prosperity. Peace, positivity, and prosperity. Without peace, there's chaos. Without positivity, there's negativity. And wherever they live together, you fail to prosper to your fullest potential. I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk live in Lions Pride. Oh, fuck a mirror, you gotta go. You been listening? Thank you for that view. All right, I'll see you. Okay, no, thank you. Bye-bye.